When I said that Southwest is a conquered territory, so many people come out and call me Afonja. But reverse is the case. Afonja are the set of people that God conquered through religion by the Fulanese. There is a recent opera going on in the Southwest when a celebrity saw something provocative at the Lagos Central Mosque. And look at the screen up there. That is what they saw, a banner that came out openly in a supposed secular state that Jesus is not Son of God. Jesus is not God, but a mere messenger. This is a provocative statement by the Muslims in Lagos State, and Lagos State is a Yoruba land. The Fulanis have been able to conquer the Yorubas by penetrating them with that religion called Islam. And right now we have serious division going on in the Yoruba land. I've always heard that ignorant most statement from the Yorubas that we are the most tolerant people, we have religious tolerance. Let me tell you, there is no nation that has been built on what we call religious tolerance. If you are looking for any country that has become what it is today, at that nascent stage of their development, at that early stage of their development, there is always a religion that has the biggest popularity, the most popularity, the majority, and the main religion. There is never a nation, show me a country that was built on secularity, because secularity brings only one thing, and one thing alone: confusion, division, diffusion. It brings what we call less sophistication. It doesn't bring what we call genuinity, depthness into that nation. The northern Nigeria today, to so many people, looks more formidable, which I believe it's just a fallacy. But to so many people, the northern Nigeria is a critical component when it comes to election winning, because of one thing and one thing alone: because of their religious belief. They have one major religion. You can fact check me. The northwest, northeast, north central. If you are going to take a statistics, the population practicing Muslim there are nothing less than 80%. So that is to tell you that that place is a really Muslim, highly Muslim concentrated area. So when their imams, right, when their afars, when their sultans, their sheikhs speaks, that place, that demography, that topography shakes. But when you bring it down to the southwest, it is always diluted. When the Muslims are saying one thing, the Christians are saying this other thing. And that is how the Fulanese have been able to conquer the Yoruba land, by what we call divide and conquer. It is unfortunate that ever since yesterday, the Yorubas have not been able to place themselves in one position to agree. They have been calling themselves all manner of names. Some of them have been calling themselves infidels. Don't forget, they are all from the same ancestral background. I mean, all Yorubas, I believe, to be from Ilefe, right? Even to Ilorin, they are calling themselves, the Ilorins have all been called Abokis. And what they speak in the Emir Palace is what? Yoruba. You know the beneficiaries of this? The beneficiaries of this conflict, of course, are the Fulanis, the caliphates. They are so happy. They are rejoicing right behind their keyboard, reading the confusion ongoing in the southwest. This is just all it takes to defeat any nation. And this is why I respect the Biafrans. I respect the Biafrans because they have said it right from the beginning, before it started, that no, we will not accept this religion. This religion is only for one thing and one thing alone: to conquer the people. It is a religion, basically. If we accept it, we will start having diffusion, destruction, division amongst ourselves. It is better we accept our local religion, the traditional religion, right? Or we accept the majority accepted religion, which is the Christianity. So this is why you see that in the Biafran Republic, they have said that Muslims is not going to be accepted. If you are a Muslim, you could come in as a foreigner. There's no point. There's no problem with that. But wherever you go around, you guys start establishing mosques here and there. You start having, yeah, citations of, Muslims. They said no, and they are very certain for it. They are very sure why they are saying that statement. If you go to Dubai, Dubai has said that yes, we are a Muslim state. Dubai never represented themselves as a secular state, but they will assign a space. In that space, they give it a name. This space, you can have your church. Nothing but your church. This will be probably the only church in this area, and that's it. Why you have mosques everywhere? That is Dubai. For they are conservative in nature. They are conserving their religion belief. They do not want that religious dilution. They do not want that religious division. They do not want a name term as secular nation. Let us be known for who we are. We are an Islamic state. That is Dubai. Nigeria today is tending towards an Islamic state. In fact, Nigeria would have been an Islamic nation if it wasn't for the Igbos. The Igbos are the only force holding the Fulanis back. And this is why you see them, they fight the Igbos, that they are too knowledgeable, they are too intelligent. They have not been able to penetrate the psychology, the philosophy of the Igbos using religion. I understand they have been able to penetrate in some part, and I think I'm going to call out my Igbo brothers to be very careful. They have been able to penetrate some parts in Enugu and Ebonyi. In fact, the chief imam of Abuja Central Mosque today is an Igbo man. So the Igbos have to be wary about that. There is no nation. If the Igbos want to maintain their pedigree, right? They want to maintain their high level of, intelligence, of knowledge, of, dignity and prestige. They must ensure that that religion does not come and disintegrate their philosophy. Because there's only one thing this philosophy does, this religion does. It pollutes your philosophy as a human being. Makes you think there is nothing worthy of in your tradition. It even makes you think your traditional beliefs are harams, are forbidden. You believing in your family traditions is not in any way against God. You are not killing human beings. You are just simply having rituals with animals. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But again, there's a religion that will come and demonize and put everyone in an enclave. That you don't do this, you all face the east, you all do that, you all do this. And anybody that goes against it should be maimed, should be unalived. Such a barbaric religion. So the Yorubas today cannot decide to fight for a single cause. This is why you see in every election, Yorubas are highly divided. Osun State today is 80% Muslims. Osun State is in Southwest. If any state will commence Sharia law, I'm going to tell you it's going to be Osun State. Then followed by Oyo State, unfortunately, my state. But Oyo State, I think we seems to have more Muslims, like 60 to 40, or should I say 55 to 45. But in Osun State, you have about 80% of them are Muslims. This is why you see that in Osun State, their governors are usually Muslims. If you are Christians, you have to believe in the Muslims' tenets. So the Yorubas have been conquered. This is a wake-up call for them. They need to know. When the Igbos come out and say that the Yorubas have been used, I mean, they are like political tool used by the Fulanis. It is not a fallacy, it is just the truth. And it is that religion. The Muslims, Yoruba Muslims, who is their supreme leader? The Yoruba Muslims do not necessarily see Oni of Ife as a supreme leader. They see Sultan of Sokoto all the way in from Sokoto as a supreme leader. But as far as Nigeria is concerned, your supreme leader is Sultan of Sokoto. You can imagine. The Sultan of Sokoto is always the one that will declare the date the fasting will commence, and the Yorubas will follow suit. The Sultan of Sokoto is the one that will commence, that will announce the day of the Salah, the you know, the day Kabir and so on and so forth, and they follow suit. So you can see they are just right under the influence of the Fulanis, jihadists. This is how the Fulanis penetrate. This is how the Fulanis stole the lands from the North Central, stole the lands of the Hausas, stole the lands of even the Kanuris. They failed when they wanted to go into the Igbo land. The Igalas, beheaded Usman Danfodio. That was where he met his Waterloo. And this is why they are so hell-bent. They use religion to grasp people's land. Was it not the same religion they used to grab Ilorin to today? The Yorubas cannot go out there and boldly say that Ilorin belongs there. They cannot. They dare not. Because Afonja got deceived and he got conquered when he accepted a religion that he never knew was going to come and demonize his traditional beliefs. It's unfortunate that the Yorubas find themselves in this level, and it's an interesting one for the Fulanis to read how well and good their religious conquest keeps penetrating the Yoruba land. And congratulations to the Igbos, for they have been the only one who has been with the foresight that these Fulanis can never be trusted, because religion is a tool they have perfected to conquer the people. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. So yesterday, once again, Nigeria was disgraced on the global stage. We saw how Lukman, the current African Player of the Year, would rather identify with his locality, which is the Yoruba race. In the recent past, we've seen how Chimamanda Adichie has said that she should be addressed as an Igbo, not Nigeria. It seems everybody right now is rather picking their local nationalities. Look at even the Middle Belt. The Middle Belters are saying that they are not part of the North, that they do not have anything in common. Not their culture, not their religion, not their way of life, not even in their way of thinking. Mr. Rafa, what's your take on this?
I think Middle Belt should go and sit down. Middle Belt should go and sit down. What are you saying? Is the official language for Middle Belt the axis of Benue State, Kogi State down to Sokoto? Is it not the Hausa language? Which language dominates the Hausas?
Are you telling me
the whole the whole northern region states, their urbanities and localities, languages spoken there are different, but one was singled or is singled out. Hausa language. Mid-Beltans, Egal, all of them, all these Junkos, they should go and sit down. They are all cowards trying to generalize Hausa language as the official language from Mid-Belt down to the core north. Now, because Lukman, a Chinese star was trying to represent his native vernacular, Yoruba, and everybody is shouting. See, let me tell you, the whole Mid-Belters, Benue, Kogi, they should go and rest. Even Kogi, Plateau State, those are intimidated cowards that are trying to represent who, or to say they are not Hausa. Hausa is the one that is heading them. That's Fulani. They're just trying to tell us lies. Do you think that some of us are that gullible and docile? Man, if you are telling lie to gullible people, Raf, I'm not docile or gullible. You can't deceive me. The whole Mid-Belt I know, Plateau State, Kogi State, Benue State, every one of them from Niger State, Nasarawa, all of them, their official language is Hausas. They speak Hausa, all of them. They shouldn't be telling us lies that we are not North, we are different from them, we don't have culture. Why are you speaking that language? The general language they speak there is Hausa, so they are all one. Lukman spoke Yoruba yesterday or day before yesterday. He represented the people of Southwest. Good. And I see it and I faulted it. It has something to do with how educated Lukman is. Because in a world arena, you don't do that. It has actually depicted him as somebody that is low.
Why would you say he
Wait,
do that? If a Chinese man speaks in Chinese language,
listen good. Let me balance my criticism. Nigeria officially speak English language, not Yoruba. That has relegated the young man as a poorly educated fellow. I'm just telling you the truth. Because I come to international stage. Let's say what I've been doing on social media for how many years now? Nearly 10 years. And the whole world wanted to recognize me, and they say, let us do so. Inviting me to London or Kenya or Abuja. I will come out and dazzle. Actually, tell them that I grew up at Nsukka. I was brought up in Nsukka campus. I don't know what to understand. I attended high school. I attended the level of education that God has given me, and I'm doing well. I should prove myself. I will not come to the world stage and start speaking Igbo language. No, now. If you see, I'm being fair to Lukman with him, because why? I love him. This is a star that God has made. I don't come here to criticize him. But I want to tell you that speaking his native vernacular has painted the Yoruba nation another, image, has given Yoruba man another image, within the venue of poor education.
Don't you think?
If Lukman is well educated, he shouldn't have spoken Yoruba language.
Don't you think this?
He should have been missing itself and actually explain himself. Let me represent my person, my people, my locality, my town, my village, my tongue. So, but he started yarning Yoruba because he's not an educated person. No, I'm against that. See, and again, let me tell you, he says many things from the angle you are talking about, like, Lukman trying to deny Nigeria their official, communication mode or code. Let me tell you, it is right. If he turn his back and speak Yoruba, I like it. Because we in this kind of contraption, we are not doing the normal thing, and let shame be upon the political leaders of this country. We are not doing well. That's why Lukman went there and spoke his native vernacular, and I support him. So let us just say the truth how it is. I criticize him, I like him, I paint him gold. What he did is right. After all, speaking English here, is British man the owner of Nigeria? British man was there, Nigeria was here until they invaded us. 17th, 18th centuries, they become our supremacists. They force their language on us. Yes, and we, as Mumu, we cling on to that. We speak English. So I like what Lukman did. But if some person want to tell me, Oga, he represented Yoruba well. That's all. That's all I know. So, but forget Chinese man. They know what they did. They were the Kate, or you call them the Celestial Empire, many years ago. They went to the West, Europe, learned their technologies, their science, and went back to Far East and shut their door. Nobody knew what the Chinese, the Japanese went through many centuries before they discovered their own science and technology and opened their door for people to come and visit them and see what they have. So their language, they value it. Whatever they write, as in science and technology, mathematics, they use their language and they don't understand it so easily. While we, the Mugu Africans, we use English, whatever we are doing, English, why are we dragging behind? Is Igbo man not, if you could be that Igbo man is not very, very intelligent enough, wouldn't have been this, versatile on science and technology that actually brought what we are doing today in the southeastern Nigeria. We understand English, we understand Yoruba, we understand languages of all nations. That's why we are like this. But coming to what Lukman did at the world stage, when he was made the best African footballer of the year. Lukman, my brother, kudos to you. I love what you did. Speaking English or Yoruba does not matter. As you represented your language on the world stage like that, I love it. And let nobody come out and start making math. As Nigeria is now looking at Yoruba and the wrong people because someone hijacked an election won by Igbo man. No, I'm not that kind of person.
Considering the fact that the major nationalities in Nigeria today are all disassociating themselves. I mean, in the past, we saw how Chimamanda also came out on a global stage that she doesn't want to be seen as a Nigerian.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Called an Igbo
if you want me to take on that, yeah, I will do that too.
Can we say Chimamanda is a proud Biafran?
Yes, he's a proudly Biafran man, girl. Oh, you don't know? Who wrote Half Yellow of a Sun? Half Yellow of the Sun was written by Chimamanda Adichie. When you talk about Half Yellow of Sun, you talk about Rising Sun. And when you talk about Rising Sun, where are you referring to? Southeast. From the east, eastern horizon or hemisphere, the sun pierced the sky early in the morning before it get to the top. That's 12 noon. From there, it goes down to west. Yeah, that's a common experiment. So, Have Yellow of Sun was written by Chimamanda Adichie. You should actually know that he's a Biafra addict. He's an Igbophobia man, girl. She has Igbomania, sorry, not Igbophobia. Igbomaniac. She wrote many books that brought her to the limelight, to the stage, world stage. So actually, if it's not trying to recognize herself with Nigeria, I think she's right. Because she must recognize herself with southeastern Nigeria, the land of the rising sun. And she's doing her work well. One out of the 14th or 10th female personalities in the world, Chimamanda Adichie could be number 1 or 2. She's more popular than Winnie Oprah. Winnie Oprah, what is her achievement? Tell me. What about Reinhardt, one of the world richest female woman in Australia? What is it that she has achieved? Money. What about many of them? Alakija is an oil aloti in Nigeria from Yoruba land. Now money. But this woman stand out on what? Literary world. And she has made it. She's a writer, a good writer. Right from University of Nigeria, Nsukka, she published University of Nigeria, Nsukka's daily or weekly magazine. Chimamanda Adichie was the publisher, editor at the age what? It was small. So these are great achievers. So when she failed to identify with Nigeria, she's right. Many things are going wrong with Nigerian nation. The corruption is fallible, a foundation laid or structured under the powers of darkness. That's why many stars, many eminent personalities in Nigeria are shifting away from Nigeria. Nigeria is to be denied because it's a country that is full of fallacies, that is full of many anomalies. So that's why I say kudos to Adichie. Then, as to the previous question you asked me, in that regard, where Lukman actually represented the Yoruba nation, I say kudos to the young man. Nigeria is to be marooned, distanced, secluded, at least alienated, distanced presently, because everything here is working against Nigerians. Nigeria as a nation is not supposed to be anymore. As of me, I am always identified with Biafra. I'm identifying my country. I'm giving out my profiles. Currently, everything should be within the contraption, a nation called Biafra. Up Biafra.
Thank you very much for that beautiful piece.